A wrestling show is incomplete without some quality tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling has a separate fan base, as it is pretty fun to watch different wrestlers team up and face each other. Thus, it is essential for every wrestling promotion to have a tag team division that prospers. Companies usually have proper tag teams as part of their tag team division. However, sometimes we see random wrestlers teaming up, especially in WWE. While some pairings do end up lasting a while, we have also seen tag teams that partner up for one night only. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and in today's video we'll be counting down 10 tag teams that partnered up for one night only. However, before we crack on with the list, I'd just like to take a moment to firstly welcome you to Honor Wrestling Club. It really does mean a lot that you're here, and we do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with us. And whilst you're here, be sure to click that thumbs up button and the subscribe button to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Welcome to the club. Now, without further ado, let's crack on with the list with number 10, Jake Roberts and The Undertaker, who teamed up in WWE in 1991. They teamed up to take on the duo of Randy Savage and Jim Duggan. Jake Roberts and The Undertaker would face each other at WrestleMania 8, where Roberts would pass the torch to the dead man by putting him over and making himself the second victim of the streak. However, not many people know that before their feud, they actually teamed up once upon a time. Towards the end of 1991, the duo of Taker and Roberts faced the duo of Jim Duggan and Randy Savage. It was a 7-minute match which ended in disqualification after Savage attacks the two with a steel chair. It really is a shame that Taker and Roberts didn't team up more, as they would definitely have made for a fun duo. In number 9, we have Kane and Edge, who teamed up on WWE Raw in 2002. They teamed up to take on the duo of Kurt Angle and Booker T. Both Kane and Edge were frequently part of the WWE tag division. The two men won many tag team titles with various different partners. However, the two wrestlers teamed up only once, despite their WWE careers overlapping for many years. The only instance of them teaming up was on an episode of Raw in 2002, when they would take on the team of Booker T and Kurt Angle. Kane and Edge would emerge victorious after Edge would hit the execution on Angle and pin him. It is quite surprising that WWE never went ahead with the idea of Kane and Edge as a tag team. In number 8, we have Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect, who teamed up at Survivor Series 1992. This is probably one of the more famous ones that will appear on this list, as they would take on the duo of Ric Flair and Razor Ramon owing to some backstage shenanigans. Mr. Perfect and Randy Savage were two top stars and among the best of the roster during the WWE Golden Era. However, the two men never really crossed paths in WWE, and neither teamed up that often, having only one match together as a tag team. They would take on the duo of Razor Ramon and Ric Flair. Woo! Initially, Savage's partner was supposed to be the Ultimate Warrior, but he got fired just before the event and got replaced by Mr. Perfect. Talk about a pretty good upgrade. As you'd expect between these four wrestlers, it was a pretty damn good contest. However, the DQ ending was quite disappointing to see. In at number 7, we have Goldberg and Kevin Nash, who teamed up on WCW Nitro in 1998. The pair would team up to face the duo of Hollywood Hulk Hogan and The Giant. Goldberg and Kevin Nash were big rivals in WCW and faced each other many a time. In fact, it was Kevin Nash who broke Goldberg's legendary 173 match winning streak. Many people, therefore, seem to have forgotten that they once teamed together. Before becoming rivals, Goldberg and Nash partnered to face the team of Hollywood Hulk Hogan and The Giant on an episode of Nitro in 1998. The match was pretty bad, with a very confusing ending, as Goldberg pinned Kurt Hennig to win the match, who wasn't even part of the contest. I'd say research it to try and find out what happened, but it's WCW, your brain will hurt and you end up rocking backwards and forwards in the shower. Moving on to number 6, we have Randy Orton and the Great Khali, who teamed up on WWE Raw in 2012. And they faced the duo of Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. Barrett Barrage! Randy Orton and the Great Khali is amongst the oddest pairings one could think of. Thus it is not surprising to know at all that the two wrestlers teamed up only once. In fact, their only match as tag team partners is also quite a forgotten one. They partnered on an episode of Raw in 2012 to take on the Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. In the end, Khali tagged himself in and hit Cody Rhodes with a chop to win the match for his team. After the match, Orton laid out Khali with an RKO, because what else is the Viper going to do? In number 5, we have John Cena and Sting, who teamed up together on an episode of WWE Raw in 2015. And they would take on the duo of Seth Rollins and The Big Show! Sting had an extremely short WWE career, wrestling just 4 matches in the company. One of those was a tag match where he teamed up with John Cena, forming a dream team if we're honest. And they teamed up to face The Big Show and Seth Rollins, who were the opposite of a dream team, on an episode of Raw in 2015. Initially it was just a singles match between Sting and The Big Show, but it turned into a tag match following Seth Rollins' interference. The match wasn't anything special, however seeing Sting and Cena team up on Raw was a huge attraction. In the end, Sting applied the Scorpion Deathlock on Rollins and made him tap out. In number 4, we have Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, who teamed up at WWE's Extreme Rules in 2019. And they faced a dynamic duo of Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns is one of only 2 wrestlers to have defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania, having defeated the Deadman at WrestleMania 33. That wasn't their only match together, as they had another match in 2019, but this time as tag team partners instead, and they also faced a couple of times in tag action back in 2013. They would take on the duo of Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules 2019. This was a no-holds-barred match, and it had many memorable spots. Their pairing was very cool as well, and they won the match after Taker hit the Tombstone Piledriver on Shane for the win. In number 3, we have Brock Lesnar and Shinsuke Nakamura teaming up at New Japan Pro Wrestling Circuit 2006 Acceleration. And they face the duo of Akebono and Riki Choshu. We quickly leave the hallowed halls of WWE and take a venture over to Japan, where Brock Lesnar rarely has tag matches, and the fact that one of the ones he teamed up with Shinsuke Nakamura may be a surprising fact for many. Nakamura and Lesnar didn't have any matches in WWE. They had a couple in New Japan in 2006, one against each other and one as tag team partners. They teamed up a month after their one-on-one match to face the duo of Akebono and Riki Choshu at New Japan Pro Wrestling Circuit 2006 Acceleration. Lesnar was the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and thus him and Nakamura won the bout, which was pretty fun to watch. In number 2, we have Bret Hart and the Ultimate Warrior, who teamed up in WWE in 1992. They teamed up to take on the duo of Papa Shango and Kamala. Returning back to the hallowed halls of WWE, and it is astounding to know that Bret Hart, the face of the New Gen era, and the Ultimate Warrior, one of the faces of the Golden era, would team up, considering how much Bret hated the Warrior. But they did in fact team up, once in an unreleased match in October 1992, to face the team of Papa Shango and Kamala. Bret was the WWE Champion at the time, and Warrior would be gone from the company the following month. The match was nothing special, but Warrior and Bret teaming up was very rare to see. Bret and Warrior obviously took the W after Warrior hit the splash on Papa Shango. And in number 1, we have The Rock and John Cena, who teamed up at Survivor Series 2011 to take on the duo of The Miz and R-Truth. The Rock and John Cena are amongst the biggest stars in the wrestling world and in Hollywood, both figuratively and literally. Thus, it was a huge moment when they teamed up, even if it was for just one night. The two men teamed up at Survivor Series 2011 to take on the team of The Miz and R-Truth. The Rock and Cena were booked to face each other in the main event of WrestleMania 28 the following year, and to set this up they ruined The Miz's WrestleMania main event, and basically the entirety of 2011. However, because they were booked to face each other, it made for an interesting tag team match. This was also The Rock's first wrestling match in over 7 years. It was quite entertaining to see the two stars team up together, and The Rock pinned The Miz to win the match for his team. And following the match, The Rock hit a rock bottom on Cena to further build their feud and their main event at WrestleMania 28 of once in a lifetime that turned into twice in a lifetime, but let's not focus on that at the moment. However, there you have it. There's our list. So what did you think? Who do you think is the most unlikely tag team pairing ever? And what teams do you know that only stay together for one night only? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed this, be sure to also let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. It really does mean a lot to us here at Honor Wrestling Club. And whilst you're looking down below the video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. However, until next time, I'd just like to thank you very much for watching and welcome you to the club. See ya!